Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, round one, fight. That's pretty much what it is, man. Playoffs start today, 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern in Denver. The LA Lakers made the playoffs. We beat the Pelicans twice in a row to punch our ticket as the 7th seed, and our reward is the Denver Nuggets, who have beaten us, I believe, about 8 or 9 times straight, dating back past last season's Western Conference playoffs. It might be 10 straight at this point. Most of the games have gone the same way. We usually have some sort of lead throughout the meat and potatoes of the game, and then in the final 5 minutes, they just hit every single shot, and we don't execute as well, and we end up losing the basketball game. It's the same formula over and over and over again, and most people are betting on that formula to continue because why not, literally. But the answer is because the Lakers are bringing in new stuff. Since the last time we saw the Denver Nuggets, we didn't have Gabe Vincent healthy, and I'd say he's probably like 75%. Still working on getting his shot together, but he's starting to help us. His wind is coming back. His conditioning is growing to where it needs to be. I wonder how altitude will affect him, but ultimately he has a gripe against the Denver Nuggets because they beat his Miami Heat in the finals last year, kept him from his first championship ring. So that's somebody I'm paying attention to. He should be able to help us. Maybe somebody we could throw in Jamal Murray that we've never been able to. See what happens there. Also, we found an opportunity to sign a guy from the Brooklyn Nets, played for the Dallas Mavericks, point guard Spencer Dinwiddie, and he's also somebody we could throw out there, help us defensively, someone who could run the score up, should be a threat offensively so long as his shot selection is helpful. So, those are reinforcements at the guard spot that we've really needed. Obviously, defending at the guard spot has been an issue for the Lakers, but we have our defensive guards in place there. Of course, we're still missing 3 guys. Christian Wood, Vanderbilt, and Cam Reddish are still going to be out. Don't know when any of these people are going to be returning, if they are at all. Jalen Hood-Schifino, of course, also out for the season with the back surgery. So we're still undermanned quite a bit, but we do have a lot more this go-round than we've had. So a lot of chatter is going on around whether Vanderbilt will be coming back at some point. He is starting to work his way back on the court, but he has yet to do contact drills, so he's still probably a week or two out from really having a game time decision type of status. So I don't know if he'll be available in this series at all. We're just going to have to assume he is not at this point. Man, what can I say? It's the Denver Nuggets. You know what it is. Jokic, Murray. We're going to be obviously trying to see if we could draw first blood in this series. It's going to be a tall task. It's a very imposing building in the Mile High City, and their fans are going to go crazy. Their confidence is up. They may be screaming out chants like "Who's your daddy?" and all different types of stuff like that. Our goal is to gain our respect. That's what it should be. Maybe we win the series. Maybe the matchups just keep us from being able to figure that out. But we do need to have our respect returned in this series. We need this team to understand that you are not our daddy, and that we have a lot of pride about ourselves. We have some Hall of Famers on this team, to say the least, and we expect to be able to win any game we're a part of and keep it close. If we execute down the stretch, that's our Achilles heel against this unit. We'll feel great about winning basketball games in this series. If we don't, then it's going to be difficult for us to gain that respect. And so that's really what it is. How well can we execute in the final 6 minutes of the basketball game, and how well can we take each and every possession seriously throughout the course of this series. The Denver Nuggets don't make too many mistakes, but they will force you to pay for yours. So it's important that we do everything we can to limit. And I've talked a lot about the Lakers and how I feel the strategy should go. So I don't want to recap everything I've already said over the last 3 days, but I've left Laker videos out here, and that's really all we've been talking about. Calling out different players that we want to see do specific things, challenges, and just an overall mentality shift, and just a pride about ourselves that allow for us to come in believing we can win, willing to play our best ball, forgetting about the previous mistake or the previous run that the Denver Nuggets are on, and just having the right mentality about not having so much fear for this team, but more so optimism about what it is that we can do against them. A mentality thing. As I said at the end of the last video, you first get beat in your mind, then you get beat on the scorecards. We got to withstand the storms of whatever what comes our way until the final buzzer of the final game is done. There's more basketball to play, and we have a carryover effect, given the fact that this is a series. So if you're down by 30, you should still be fighting like you're close, because you want that momentum to carry into the next game. You erase a 30-point lead, turn it into 9, and now they got a lot to think about how you found a way to manage to make the game respectable. So I imagine they're going to be doing the same thing. And there should never be a reason in this series, especially with all the disrespect that's been thrown our way, for us to not play with a certain level of play hard and a certain level of urgency. So that's what it's about, man. Gaining your respect, taking every possession seriously, limiting your mistakes, but not beating yourself over them to the point where you start making more of them, and not giving up. Not giving up. We expect that this team is better than us on paper. They've proven that many, many times, and we should be motivated to overcome. We should be motivated to finally get over the hump. We should be motivated to gain our respect. And so in game 1, that's what I want to see. I would love to see the Lakers draw first blood. More than anything, I just want the Denver Nuggets to feel like this is going to be a long series after game 1 buzzer. Whether they win or lose, they need to feel like this is about to be a long series. And a lot of that starts with our stars, LeBron and Anthony Davis. How are they feeling? How's Bron's back? Is AD going to be able to play throughout the whole series without getting knocked out as far as the eye is concerned or the back is concerned? Is LeBron James going to withstand the difficulty of playing in altitude at this stage in his career? Will he be more capable of being more aggressive this year now that his foot's not hurt? AD, same thing. Obviously, D'Angelo Russell. Can you come out and draw first blood? Can you establish that you are going to perform well this year in the playoffs? You have a reputation of having to be benched in the last 2 playoffs. I understand that a lot of that had to do with those calluses that he had on his feet. Though that situation, from what I understand, has been resolved. He should be 100% healthy. He's coming off a game where he hit 5 threes. Can you have the mentality to hit shots against this Denver team, who's probably going to throw some strong defensive players at you and make you work hard tonight? Austin Reeves, you've had a really down season. It's time to step into your confidence. It's time to play well. It's playoff time. You're a playoff performer, already proven. I need him to step into his confidence into this series and make it very difficult for whoever's trying to guard him by not turning the ball over, not trying stuff he has no business trying, and stepping into his shot and hitting those. And so we need Austin to draw fouls in this series. We need him to be as confident as possible. So these are the things that we're talking about right now. We want our Los Angeles Lakers to take this series seriously. We don't have to feel defeated before it begins, even though everybody's picking against us. We could use that underdog mentality as a bulletin board material and as a means of being able to come into Denver and expecting them to take us for granted to a degree, just because of all of the success that they've been garnering against us. So it's important the LA Lakers make a move early, try to come out, get off to an early start in each and every one of these games, establish a cushion that we expect the Denver Nuggets to try to erase with efficient basketball play. They're a better defensive team this year. We understand that they got guys that are going to come off that bench that are going to be on point defensively, like Christian Brown and Peyton Watson. It's going to be important for us to withstand what this team is doing defensively, because that is their newfound identity this season. A guy like Justin Holiday, he tends to play well off of his superstars. They tend to find him open. He tends to hit shots against us. We need to try to limit his success, try to exploit some of their role players when they're on the floor, to put them in the most disadvantaged position against us, because we know we're going to get exploited by guys like Jokic, Gordon, Porter. They're going to try to exploit us. We need to do everything we can to exploit the weaknesses where we find them and take advantage where we can against this Denver Nuggets NBA championship team. I expect my Los Angeles Lakers are going to gain their respect first by looking in the mirror, coming together as a unit and having it. If we start pointing fingers, we stop believing, we start looking down, we don't play as a unit. All of that type of stuff is going to play right into the Denver Nuggets' hands, and they're going to continue to establish themselves as being able to disrespect us and back it up. We need to, for sure, gain our respect in this series. And it ain't going to come from us being divided as a unit. It ain't going to come from us rolling our eyes when the coach is doing stuff. You got to be on point. Whether you believe or not, your body language and the stance that you take within that body language is going to determine how much doubt you can instill in the mind of the other team. It's not about whether or not you are all in. It's that you be all in so that you can show the other team, who was most definitely all in, that they're not going up against a pushover patsy, that they're not going against their children, that they're not going against a team that's about to get swept up out of here. So I expect LeBron James' body language will be high. It's playoff time. I expect for him to be in playoff mode. A couple times he said that in this uniform. He did not show up, and that was a problem for us for whatever reason. We need to make sure that this year 21 for him, he is not disrespected and kicked out of this series without any resistance. That is not something we can do 2 years in a row and have confidence going into next season. We must establish our respect. So that's what I'm thinking right now going into game one. Like I said, if you want to check out all of the different pointers that I've had in mind, I've left many videos out here for you guys over the last 3 days. So I encourage you to check them all out. We've talked about this series ad nauseum, and I made no prediction because I don't want to put any energy out there at all that would play into Denver's hands. Obviously, I'm a rational thinking individual. We've lost 8 straight games. You know what my prediction would be if I were to make one. At the same time, I believe in overcoming things that are coming at you. I believe in climbing Kilimanjaro, or whatever the hell the name of that damn mountain is. You got to get up the mountain and overcome what's impossible. And I've seen teams do that. I've seen things fall in teams' way. Sometimes you think you got a team that's overpowering a team. All of a sudden, the Detroit Pistons come out and overcome you. You have an injury and you go down. This is the type of series I want this to be. We weren't supposed to lose to Detroit. We weren't, you know what I'm saying? The We Believe Warriors weren't supposed to beat Dallas. All of these different type of situations. If anybody in their right mind were picking these teams and going into those series, of course you would have picked the Lakers to beat Detroit. Of course you would have picked Dallas to beat the Warriors. It didn't happen, and it started with circumstances that were outside of their control, playing into their favor, and then them seizing the moment. Last year, the Bucks and the Heat. You wouldn't have picked the Bucks to beat the damn Heat, or rather the Heat to beat the damn Bucks, rather. But Giannis went down, and they took advantage of everything that came their way. The Lakers need to not rely upon injuries, but do need to take advantage of everything that comes their way and not hang their head when things happen that are positive for the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets are going to do all types of stuff. They go shoot one-legged shots falling away, and they're going to fall. You got Jamal Murray, who may hit 6 or 7 shots in a row. You might have Porter go 15 for 15 like he did in the last game, or something of that nature where he didn't hardly miss a shot against us. These type of things are possible, man. And if you come in with the reaction to those things as if you are feeling defeated when they happen, then you're missing the point of what it is the mentality is necessary is to defeat this team. You need to have the mentality that you're going to withstand the storms. You don't, cry when it rains. You grab an umbrella, you put on your rain boots, you walk. You got to do what you got to do. And I think that's what the mentality is for the Lakers. You're going up against the defending champions. So, of course, they're going to do fantastic things. Of course, they're going to race lead. You're going up against Nikola Jokic. Of course, he's going to have phenomenal stat lines. Like, these are things that should not make you hang your head as they're happening. You just got to respond. Quality possessions, forgetting the last mistake, hitting your free throws, not giving the referees any reason to give you hell, and keep your poise when they do things that you don't agree with, because there will be plenty. And I'm sure the Denver Nuggets will have moments like that as well, and they got to keep their composure in order to win the series too. So, I don't think we should be overreacting to referees or trying to do anything to show so much emotion to give them bulletin board material to throw us out of basketball games or to call more calls for the Denver Nuggets. You don't want to get on their bad side. The game within the game, managing your timeouts, stopping the bleeding, that's on coach and the coaching staff, using your challenges properly, knowing when to take chances, knowing when not to, as players, when you choose your shot selection, diversifying the ball into different places which to score versus riding a hot hand and giving him an opportunity to keep scoring. I mean, these are different things that we're going to have to make choices on and make sure that we have quality possessions. What type of shots are we taking? Are we just launching bull crap, or are we being methodical? What pace are we playing at? All of these things have to be on a string as a unit, and we all got to agree as a unit that we're going to go out there and play together, and that's really what I'm asking the unit to do. You write your own story. It's been a long season. It's been a grueling season. Most people expect you to fizzle out. I would love to see this team write its own story and make something great out of this very frustrating season. I would love to see Darvin Ham step in the playoff Ham and be the coach that he was in the first 2 series of last year. LeBron James has only missed the playoffs a few times. He's only been knocked out of the playoffs in the first round once, I believe. We got to assure that doesn't continue to be something that changes, if that makes any sense. You don't want that to change. You want him to be able to continue to get out of the first round, and this is the tallest task that he's probably ever seen in the first round. This is probably the greatest distance he's had from being the favorite probably in any series of his career. Like, no one expects us to win hardly a game. But we know we have reinforcements that Denver hasn't seen. We know we have players that Denver isn't necessarily prepared for, and we got to make sure that we take advantage where we can. So that's really what it is, man. It's game 1. I'd imagine this would be considered a feel-out game, but this is an urgent game for the Lakers, psychologically and for the idea that adjustments will be coming. We want to make them adjust to us. We want to come out, draw first blood, get that first game in Denver early, so that if nothing else, all you got to do is win at home. You got to win one in Denver in order to win the series. But if you win all your home games, somehow the series is over if you've won that Denver game. So getting the split is most important. Obviously, our goal is to win every game we're in, but we know who we're going against. And it's going to be on us to overcome what should be considered better than us in order to win the series. So that's what it is, man. We're not confused. We understand Denver has had our number. We also understand we could dial new numbers for them. You know what I mean? And that's really what it comes down to. We got to use the Gabe Vincents, Dinwiddie. I would like to see our coach go to Max Christie and a few other guys as well. I think Max Christie could be serviceable in this series, especially for what it is that we need defensively and rebounding. So I know coach is likely not to play Max, but there are things that Max does very well that we really could use. So that's something that needs to be said. Same thing goes with Jackson Hayes, rebounding and getting in the passing lanes, getting in steals. Excuse me. Jackson Hayes is an underrated steals player. I would love to see him get multiple steals when he gets his minutes. That will really help this team. We need to capture possessions, close out defensive possessions, and get second chance points if at all possible. We understand they have forwards and a center who can rebound over us. They are a fantastic rebounding basketball team. We need to crash the glass. So that's really what it is. Hopefully we have a fantastic shooting D-Lo that also helps this team tremendously. If he's scoring over 25, 30 points, we barely lose. And you best believe there are going to be guys on the other side doing that for Jokic. So we really, really hope to see D-Lo confident. He deserves to be confident. He's had a fantastic season. He broke 3-point records. He deserves to feel good about himself leaving these playoffs. And so I really, really hope for him that he comes in loose, confident, and that the Lakers can scheme opportunities for him to be open, and that he hits those shots, that he continues on his playmaking mission, that he keeps his turnovers down, and he rebounds the ball. You know, these are things that I really, really want to see D-Lo have a good series, man. I'd hate to think that he's just going to always have this hanging over his head for the rest of his life. We said it after he had his 44-point game, bro. You deserve to step into your confidence in these playoffs, man. Seriously. It ain't even about who's rooting for you or who's not. You deserve to look in the mirror and say, I'm not a playoff failure. And it starts with this game. Erase everything that happened the last 2 years just step into your confidence, feel good about yourself, because you could do it in the regular season and it's still the same sport. You know what I mean? It ain't the game. The ball doesn't get deflated. The hoop doesn't have to be raised 5 feet in the air from where it is. You know, nothing changes in the playoffs. It's still the same sport. And so I just want D'Lo to have confidence in this game today against this team. And if he's able to produce in the way that extenuates his strengths, I think the rest of the team will fall in line and will win. Back-breaking threes, man, hit your free throws, stuff like that. We'll win the game if D'Lo is his best. So that's who the X factor is in the series. We know that. And you're going up against Jokic, man. So play smart. BDF44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.